ties it up.
Holy Ghost is on the move.
Yeah, Firebirds had a lot of momentum.
Right from the jump for the Firebirds, who look really good.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the campus of Holy Ghost Prep, where we're live for the second time this spring season for varsity lacrosse action between the Holy Ghost Prep Firebirds and this time the Central Bucks South Titans. I'm Caden Stewart.
I'm Jack Dobbins.
And for the next 48 minutes of live game action, we'll have coverage for you from the New Athletic Complex at Holy Ghost Prep, where the Firebirds take on the Titans and look to improve to above 500 for the second time this season. They started off 1-0, are coming off a 6-2 home loss earlier this week, and they'll look to bounce back against the Titans. So Firebirds and Titans getting ready to go out to midfield for the opening ceremonies. And at that time, we'll come back to you live on Holy Ghost Prep YouTube channel. Once again, it's Caden Stewart and Jack Dobbins from the New Athletic Complex with the Holy Ghost Prep Firebirds taking on the CB South Titans in varsity lacrosse. About to get underway at the New Athletic Complex between the Holy Ghost Prep Firebirds and the CB South Titans. The Firebirds will send out Representative Colin McCarthy for the face-off. So we apologize for the camera issues again today. The camera not going on as planned. We also have the wrong graphic up, so a lot of problems on the screen, but you'll still be able to hear me and Jack's voices, hopefully, for the stream, as we'll call this game radio style, as you started to get used to, unfortunately, over the last few games. Opening face-off once underway. It was blown dead for 3 seconds, which will be added right back to the clock, and so we'll do it all over again. Representing the Titans is Anthony DePedro, and opening face-off was won by DePedro, takes it all the way down the field to start the Titans on offense. The Firebirds' last game and only home game of the season so far went 0-0 into the half. All 8 goals in the game were scored in the second half, and I've been told to expect more of the same with high-powered defense rather than offensive opportunities in this first frame. Potentially some more aggression in the second half, but so far the Titans are slowing things down at the top. Mark Etger to the far side. Etger goes down low by the X, and the Titans will reset.
Titans keeping consistent control of the ball, tossing it over to Alexander Fessler. Flings it back over to Mark Etgen over by the emblem. Back to behind goal. Tossing, trying to get around Cranley. Over to DePedro. DePedro loses it. Firebirds try to knock it out and will not do it.
Seamus Cranley gets a start in net for the Firebirds, number 56. He had more penalties for unnecessary roughness in the first half of last game than he did goals allowed, with 2 absolute, major hits, for lack of a better term. The Firebirds with a good block out in front. Getting a stick on it was Ryan Lippy, the junior defenseman, but Lippy's efforts go to no avail, as taking it right back over is Alexander Fessler of the Titans. Fessler goes back around behind the net. Pass goes back to the top to DePedro. DePedro was going to go to Fessler. Instead takes a shot on a one bounce. It goes up and over the net to the far left side. Rebound comes out to the key. Off to the far side is on the left, and that one was deflected down by Lippy once more. Lippy playing physical defense and gives a successful stick check to Alexander Fessler, who is forced to pick the ball up at midfield. So a notable active for today is Mateo DeChico, who left late in the last game with what appeared to be leg cramps. He's back in play today, and he will have a lot of playing time, as we saw in the last game, as a flag goes up along the far side. It appears to be against the Firebirds. And speaking of DeChico, he's in coverage behind the net on the attackman Keith Connor. Connor out to the far side, and he scores. Connor beats Cranley to the far left side, and it's a 1-0 Titan lead just 2 minutes and 17 seconds in, compared to 24 minutes in the last game.
Bad start for the Firebirds, playing tight defense, but unfortunately Connor was able to get around it. Firebirds need to find a way to limit the amount of times they can get behind the goal, as they did it competitively to keep the ball in their possession, which eventually led to a goal right down the middle.
It should be expected to see goals hard to come by today, so any goal given up or scored will go miles. Ralph Smolitsky now goes to the face-off circle for the Firebirds. The Titans won the opening face-off, so they lead the game in face-offs 1-0. Smolitsky tries to even that. Firebirds in their home white and blue today. On the road are the Titans in their road blue with the white trim and white numerics. Applying the stick check and going down the field is Mark Etger, and Etger got a check of his own and is forced to reset back at the top. Etger pass over to Jack Arbach, the attackman, and as soon as it gets in his stick, a whistle sounds and play will pause for the moment. Looks like Arbach will have to restart from where he left off before the whistle. Also appears to have been 2 balls in the field of play as one was shuffled off, so maybe a combination of things to cause Arbach to go to a different spot. Arbach now comes back in. He finds Fessler. Fessler back to Arbach. Try saying that one 5 times twice. He goes to DePedro.
5 times twice.
5 times fast. Try to say 5 times twice, 5 times fast. Length of the field, heave all the way back down. And Keith Connor, the attackman, back out across, hovering around the X and looking for a reset. Arbach at the top. Back to Connor. Connor wants 2, and he's got it. Keith Connor, the attackman, back-to-back goals to start, each come in the first 4 minutes. This one, 3:12 into the game, it's a 2-0 Titan lead.
Firebirds would be in a very hard scenario to be in a worse spot than this. 2 goals in the first 4 minutes is unbelievable and not what we know to see from Cranley. So Firebirds get to lock in on defense because right now they're evidently not doing that, down 2-0 already.
The Firebirds hoping to win the face-off battle, at least on this one. It appeared that they had, and then it's eventually taken away from them on the infraction in the circle. So Jack Arbach again once again restarts. The Firebirds have not had clean possession of the ball yet in this game, 3 minutes and 30 seconds in. One bounce pass goes to the corner to Alexander Fessler, and he'll take the return feed. Fessler in between midfield and the Titan bench. He goes right behind his back to Anthony DePedro. Both DePedro brothers active today. Anthony DePedro wearing number 23. And the second DePedro,
Nicholas wearing number 9.
Yes, thank you. I'm not sure why I did not see that. But yeah, Anthony and Nicholas both active today, and both brothers returning passes there as they go to the corner. Back around behind the net to Landon Amorim. And Amorim touches the ball for the first time today, immediately gives it back up to Chase Korniak. And Korniak to Alexander Fessler. Fessler's shot is deflected away, finally screwed up by Cranley, and for the first time in 4.5 minutes, the Firebirds are finally coming across midfield with the ball. Doing so is Scott Harkins, the senior long pole midi. Harkins goes down low, centering feed goes to Jude Walsh. Walsh fires a shot, that one goes wide. Chasing it behind the net is the freshman Brady Flynn, the lone freshman on the Firebird roster. And Jude Walsh won his 3rd in 2 games.
Firebirds deserve a gold star for finally getting it across midfield.
And they do so, and they go on the attack early. 2 shots near the net. None of them quite make it there, but the Firebirds are showing aggression. Josh Razzler loses his stick and the ball. A whistle will sound to stop the clock and stop play at 6:59. And so the Firebirds are back on defense, but in their offensive zone, as moving the ball around with ease is James Vargason, the defenseman. Vargason has not seen much action, nor have any other Titan defensemen so far in these opening 5 minutes. Speaking of the Titans, here they come, and they score once more. 3-0 CB South early, and for the first time, it's not a man named Keith Connor scoring the goal. It is instead Mark Etger. Etger, who had fed the last 2 goals, and at least in part, makes it a 3-0 lead early for the Titans.
I have 2 words for the Firebird defense right now. Lock in. Because they are down 3-0, not even halfway into the first quarter. This is going horrendously. Is that even a word? I don't know.
6:38 to play in this opening quarter of 12. Face-off is won for the 4th time today by Nicholas DePedro. DePedro to Auerbach. Auerbach to Fessler. Fessler filtering it through the defense. 1 bounce pass to the far side and back down low to Armorim. The Titans have not used around the X a lot today. Armorim only touching the ball twice. The Firebirds with a completely different strategy, with Flynn and Razzler usually rotating the spot, and that's where the Firebirds control the ball for most of their offensive time, which has not been much so far today, as dominating time of possession have been the Titans, who continue to do so. Hanging out around the X is Fessler, and Fessler's centering feed goes wide. Chasing it towards the sideline and keeping it in bounds is DePedro. Not for long, couldn't keep himself in play, and so DePedro is forced to give it up, and here comes Mason Deanna. Deanna goes down to Flynn. Sophomore to freshman, 2 of the rare underclassmen again on this Firebird roster. And now back to an upperclassman, the junior Josh Razzler, by the Firebird sideline. Razzler up to the top. Jude Walsh trying to get open. He does. He had the hot hand the last game, scoring the Firebirds 2 goals, each of them. And multiple shots on goal late in the game to try to help the Firebirds get back into it, which came to no avail. But the Firebirds are going to get back into this one, down by 3. 7 minutes gone in this opening frame. Shot is fired high by Tommy Walsh, a fellow sophomore. Tommy Walsh got an assist on one of Jude Walsh's goals in the last game. He's looking to extend his point streak to now 3 games. Walsh trying to do the same, and that one fired and saved. The first save made on the day by starting goalkeeper for CB South in Braden Shahan. Firebirds force a turnover in their defensive zone, and so HGP will take over going down the sideline. And back on offense go HGP. So pardon me, the starting goaltender today for the Titans is Dominic Varacallo, number 35. So Varacallo has made his first save of the game on the Jude Walsh shot. Flynn hoping to get one more opportunity in there. Now it's Razzler. Razzler goes down, gets back up. He is triple teamed in the corner and eventually forced to give it up.
Firebirds can't seem to get anything going so far in this game. They just seem to be bending to whatever rules CB South wants to play by.
Flag flies on that far side, and with a heave to a meaningless heave, I'll say that, by Anthony DePedro, as he was flagged behind the play and before the throw. 3:41 to play in this opening frame. 3-0 the Titans lead the Firebirds here at the Dwayne Athletic Complex at Holy Ghost Prep. HGP looking to get their first home win of the season and improve to 2-1 on the year, coming off a 6-2 loss to Shipley. This has been a lot more action-packed than that 6-2 loss to Shipley, but not in the way the Firebirds would like it. as Jack Auerbach looks to score for the 4th goal of the game now for the Titans. Auerbach, the return, looking to reset it, unable to. The Firebird defense getting close to the line. They cannot cross. Holt trying to get there. He cannot. And Auerbach recovers and resets for the Titans. Auerbach shuffles it forward. 2-step crow hop and saved by Cranley. An important save there mentally for Cranley to make sure he is still in that game. Moving it down is Tommy Walsh now. And Walsh's pass, they never really got clean possession of it, and so the Titans take back over. Underneath shot is sizzling wide by Keith Connor, going for the hat trick in this first period. Connor scored the first 2 goals of the game. Ecker scored the 3rd. Jack, your thoughts?
I was too focused on Landon Amorim going flying like 5 yards behind the goal for no reason, what it looked like. I just thought that was pretty funny.
Amorim hanging by the X right now, the spot right behind the back of the net. And here's Keith Connor on the attack. Connor being pressured away, double teamed. Is the double goal scorer today. Connor to Jack Auerbach. Auerbach on attack. And spins away, lost the ball. The Firebirds on good defensive play, and here come HGP on the move.
Love the pressure from Williams and Lippy there.
Yeah, Lippy gets the credit for the steal, and he's going all the way down, doing it himself. Eventually needs some help, and that's Josh Razzler providing it. Now Razzler forced to the corner. The Firebirds are going to slow the pace of this game down and hopefully build up their time in possession, which still may not be over a minute. Newly healthy Mateo DeChico with a brace on that left leg fires a shot. The former goalie tried to beat the new goalie, and that one was saved away. DeChico was a varsity starting goaltender the last 2 years. Now playing midfielder in today's game and this season. Shot and score! The Firebirds are on the board. DeChico will get the assist from the back, and the goal is scored by the senior midi, Jacob Tuza.
Big goal from Tuz there with the assist from Mateo DeChico. Firebirds starting a flare here almost at the end of this first quarter. Hopefully they can start to continue this heat on offense and start burning this lead down.
The puns are going crazy from my side, left side of this booth. Jacob Tuza with his first goal of this season, and HGP now only down 2, maybe making a run here late in the first.
I'm just cold. Thinking about heat makes it feel better.
That is a rare smart Jack comment on the broadcast booth.
Wow.
And understandable. I'll give you
Catching a stray on the broadcast is crazy.
Catching a stray from behind the back and drawing 2 flags there was number 25 and Ralph Smolinski.
Double trouble.
And this could be a man-up situation for the Firebirds, which could bring them back into this game in just a few moments.
Speaking of which, we have a fun halftime interview planned for you guys today. We have a few students from Blackrock College, a Puritan school in Dublin, Ireland, ready for myself and Caden to ask some questions about the game of lacrosse, about how they're feeling about America, and about the fast food they've had so far on this trip. I've taken them to Chick-fil-A and Cane's. We'll get their taste for that during the halftime interview, just to see what is ahead on this broadcast. But for now, CB South has possession. Firebirds make them fumble, and CB South will recover. That is going to be the goalie, Dominic Varacallo, taking the ball out, trying to find an outlet.
Varacallo way out of his own net, and a whistle will sound not on Varacallo, but on the Titans as a whole. And so a 64 ticks to the clock to play in his opening quarter as Mateo DeChico bringing the ball back down. The last shot could be important to take here for the Firebirds in this opening period, looking to stay down by 2, if not better, maybe 1, before this first frame of 12 comes to an end. Jude Walsh, who's been double-teamed for most of the game, now takes it down. Walsh being boxed out and pressured away, forced out of that close box. 35 seconds left. They've killed half the clock. Walsh to his fellow classmate in Josh Razzler. Razzler to the middle. And shot is knocked away. Brady Flynn will let it go out of bounds, and he'll win the race out of bounds as taking a huge hit with Scott Harkins.
Some beef brewing between Scott Harkins and a few of the Titans defensemen. Some little hits not during the play going on.
Harkins and DePedro had a little bit of mouthing. And a little bit of checking there at the end. 13 seconds and 12 on the clock. The Titans looking with one last push. Doing so is John Henson. Henson backs it out. 5 seconds for Henson to the far side. Will he get a shot off? He will, but won't make it towards the net. And HGP will go into the first break down by 2, 3-1 to the CB South Titans.
Heavily.
3-1 leading is the 3-1 Titans lead the Firebirds for the first 12 minutes of play. The Firebirds with the latest goal in the game. They now trail by 2 compared to 3. Hoping to get the last shot in that first quarter, they were unable to do so. And so for now, they look to get off to a hot start in this second frame of 12, which they have not been able to do with these face-offs, but finally a face-off win for HGP. It's still loose, but finally chasing it down. Bobby Williams, a senior. Williams a stick check. That was nearly a high stick, and that'll definitely be a penalty. Brady Flynn comes out of nowhere. And that's not Flynn, that's Tommy Walsh. Regardless, Walsh comes out of nowhere with a hit, takes a hit of his own, and some extracurricular activity behind the play between Walsh and Dylan Carmado.
What a way to start the second quarter. A little hit that maybe shouldn't have happened, calls it a flag, not even 20 seconds into the play.
.11:39 to play in this second quarter. 3-1 Titans lead, and they'll have a chance to extend that as they'll have a face-off and a man up in their offensive zone. 4 defensemen in a box formation for HGP out in front of their starting goaltender, Seamus Cranley. 6 on attack for the Titans.
Loading up the crease.
Indeed they do so. Getting it passed down low, Fessler. Fessler filters to the top. One-time pass goes down low. That one goes to DePedro. DePedro bobbled it. He's forced to reset. He goes right to his brother instead. Up to the top to Auerbach. Auerbach, DePedro. DePedro sets a screen. At least hoping to get one set. Takes the return. A wind-up shot. That one deflected off Cranley and goes wide. So Cranley with the stand in this opening part of the penalty.
Hot shot, barely wide. Firebirds stay only down 2, but the Titans retain possession.
Fessler and Amorim down low by the X. Amorim wants the pass. He did not get there. Fessler on the rebound. That one no good. And winning the race out of bounds will be the Firebirds in Seamus Cranley. And the goaltender able to get his stick just a little bit farther out than Amorim did for the Titans, and so the Firebirds have possession, which is important in the second quarter, as they did not have much in the way of possession and control of the ball in that first.
Cranley at midfield. He's just going.
And Cranley way up there. The Firebirds go on the man up instead, inadvertently. And offsides is called on HGP. I'm surprised it wasn't called earlier. Cranley was 3/4 of the way down the field.
He just kept going until someone called him out on it.
That was a strategy when Heritage Chico played it well his 2 years in net. I'm sure he's proud along that far sideline. Getting the pass back, Alexander Fessler. Fessler to Keith Connor, a 2-time goal scorer tonight. Each of the first 2 goals of the game, he filters it out. Fessler takes a huge hit, and that'll bring about a penalty as well, as being flagged is Dylan McManus. For now, it's a delayed call, and so the Titans have a chance to go up, man up, and score. Anthony DePedro filters it out again. DePedro to his brother. Goes down low to Fessler. Fessler to Amorim, and Amorim will have to chase it out of bounds on that far pylon in the far right corner. Fessler will bring it in after stoppage of play.
McManus jogging out towards the sideline once again.
A penalty was called on him for a high hit with a stick into the face mask.
Timeout?
Yeah, pretty clean call, and a timeout will be called by the Firebirds to try to reset and restart this second period. 2:10 gone in such period. 3-1 lead for the CB South Titans. Firebirds and Titans back underway. Taking the pass is Anthony DePedro. DePedro goes down low, back towards the X. DePedro to Amorim. Amorim back behind the net. Up to the top to Fessler. Fessler to DePedro. DePedro to Amorim. That one sails high and off the back netting.
Incredible block by Cranley there. Crow hop close to the net. He just barely chucks it up over the net to prevent the big goal that would put them back up 3.
Taking the pass now is Anthony DePedro. And DePedro, did he score? He did. It's 4-1 Titans as DePedro gets the assist on the goal by Jack Auerbach. His first goal of the game. DePedro's first assist of the game. And it's up to a 3-goal deficit once more for the Firebirds.
I should have knocked on wood. I should have knocked on the wood of this table we are currently sitting at. That is my bad, guys.
4-1 Firebirds as Auerbach from DePedro is that 4th goal of the game for the Titans sideline. 9:14 to play in this second quarter. 24 minutes more to come after those 9:14. And HGP seems to be needing every second of it, as they have not gone off to hot starts these first 2 games. Only 1 combined goal so far in the last 3.5 quarters. At least 3.5 first half quarters. They have heated up in the second half. and hoping to do so once more. But it's going to be important to hold this score right now to 4 opposing goals up until halftime. Brady Flynn trying to hold on to the ball for right now. Flynn losing it, and Flynn gets knocked down, picks it up, and now in deep trouble, triple team. Brady Flynn somehow in possession of it, gets a shot on goal. So credit to Brady Flynn, and save was made by Warwick Hollow. Nothing much Flynn could do there with not much help from the Firebirds. Bobby Williams has that one knocked away on defense. Williams will recover and try to pressure it to the sideline. Dropping back is Keith Connor. Connor back to DePedro. DePedro and Connor going back and forth. Pass out to Amorim, the attackman along the far side. Amorim now to Nathan Finkel. Finkel, a one-bounce pass goes wide. Took a few more hops before going out of bounds. Off of the stick of Alexander Fessler of the Titans.
Here comes Ryan Lippy to toss it into Cranley.
And Cranley brings it up out of his own net. And comes out of the box. Cranley coming way across midfield once more.
Here we go again.
Seamus Cranley now to Mateo DeChico. And DeChico running around with it.
DeChico surveying. Flips it over to the far side. That's Jude Walsh. Walsh tosses back. That's going to be Lippy. Is crushed on his way going towards the Titans' goal. They will recover. And the Firebirds will take it right back. Josh Razzler grabs it. Flips it over to the middle to Scott Harkins. And will take a shot on goal and will not get it.
We're going to take a break here on the Holy Ghost Prep YouTube network to try to fix the camera issue that we have going on. We'll be back in a few minutes with the Firebirds trailing by 3, 4-1 to the CB South Titans. Sorry about the delay, folks. We're back on the Holy Ghost Prep YouTube channel. Since we left, one goal has been scored for either side. It's a 5-2 lead now for the Titans. Our camera issue is still unresolved. We'll hopefully have that done for you by the next stream on Wednesday night. And for now, the Holy Ghost Prep Firebirds will take a timeout. So we started off coming out of the break with the Firebirds taking a goal right back from the Titans to make it 4-2. And then just a few moments ago, the Titans making it 5-2 off the stick of Alexander Fessler. So either side, or the Titans now trail by 3, either side exchanging goals during that break. And we'll take yet another break with the Firebirds sideline. It's a 5-2 lead for the Titans. So we're back coming out of the first timeout of this second quarter for Holy Ghost Prep. It's a 5-2 lead for the Titans. HGP on the attack, though, back behind the net. Down by 3. Brady Flynn hoping to do something here. Flynn backs out to Deanna, who finds DeChico. DeChico by the emblem makes a charge in, spins off a man, lost the ball. DeChico trying to scoop this one up and unable to. Picking up the loose ball and sprinting down the middle of the field. Coming up on a straight shot is Carrito, and Carrito gets it on net and scores. What a sequence by number 14, Dylan Carrito, the midfielder. And with that, the Titans now have a game-high 4-goal lead. It is 6-2 as Carrito does it himself cross-country.
Great drive from Carrito there, trying to pick it up and just driving, chucking it in, putting up a 6th spot in the first half for Central Bucks South. Firebirds at a huge deficit. Hopefully they can surmount it. No guarantees, but they will try their best as it's less than 2 minutes until half.
1:57 to play until halftime. And in the second quarter, it's a 6-2 Titan lead, the largest of the day for CB South, and equaling the score that was final and the last game between Ship League and Holy Ghost, with Firebirds down 6-2 in that one as well. Coming up the field and underhanding the pass is Anthony DePedro.
Seems they're trying to drain clock.
Yeah, DePedro shuffling it out, and at this point, the strategy might be to do so for the Titans. No real reason to hurry, as time of possession has been their strong suit of the game. Pass goes to the top. The Firebirds are daring them to shoot, essentially.
And they do, and barely miss it. Cranley Corrals fires over the middle to Tiberio.
And Cranley finds Tiberio. Tiberio going down the field, has that one knocked away. Over to the sideline, Tiberio went down weird once the call did not get there, or did not get one, as he got there for the hit. And what a move put on by number 43 in James Vargason. And Vargason able to shake off a defender, but a Firebird is down out in front of the net, and
Tiberio's absolutely shaken right in front of the crease. Cranley and others surrounding him. This is not a good scenario for the Firebirds, with a man down right before the half. Not even a minute until the half comes to a close, and the Firebirds have a large player down.
Tiberio is down. We'll take an injury timeout. 41 ticks of the clock left in this first half, and just like that, we'll get a stoppage. As play was whistled dead, the Firebirds does not have all their men on. And a late substitution coming in is Scott Harkins. Saitino Tiberio is able to get off on his own power. He's on the edge of the bench right now for the Firebirds. Hopefully he comes back into the game later on. And for now, the Titans take back over on offense as they have for most of the game. It's Keith Connor, who has 2 goals in this first half, to Anthony DePedro, and right back. Connor on the return. To the near side of the net, Keith Connor spins out of one, evades Bobby Williams. He goes down low for the check down to Mark Etker. Etker to Amorim. Amorim is that one knocked away. Loose ball out in front, shuffled around. To Chico fighting with physicality for it. So is Bobby Williams. Neither side really wants the ball right now. 2 seconds, 1 on the clock. Buzzer beater shot goes wide. And the Firebirds live to see another day, only down by 4. But only it's a stretch of a word. The Firebirds trailing by 4, 6-2 through 24 minutes of play. Jack, your thoughts on the first half?
Rough half of the Firebirds, just never getting something going. A couple goals at certain points in time, but they never had a dominant stretch where they can be like, we are going to win this game. Right now, it's really CB South's game, and they're just trying to find ways to adapt. That's not how they're going to win. They need to find a way to take charge and make CB South bend their rules in order to really win this game. They need some goals in a row. They need to shut down CB South in a dominant fashion. They need to just work on getting the game in their favor rather than get goals here and there.
Yeah, Firebirds trail by 4, not 6 just yet. 6-2 lead for the Titans going into the half. So both sides with a lot to work on, but mainly the Firebirds, with time of possession being a key issue in the first frame of 24. We'll have our special edition interview with our Ireland friends right now. Okay. You guys are excited.
Very excited. So here we have a couple of guests from Blackrock College in Dublin, Ireland. We got Finn Hamilton, Mossy O'Loughlin, 2 fourth years, I want to say. Yeah. Yes, which is equivalent to a sophomore here in America. So, guys, let's just start it off simple. Caden, you want to ask the first question?
Sure, I'll start off with that. I haven't known you guys too much, but I've seen you being able to adjust well to this new environment in the U.S. So how do you think it differs so far from what you've seen in Ireland, obviously, in your years there?
I mean, the buildings are definitely bigger. There's a lot more going on. Everything's bigger, to be honest. Ireland's a pretty small country, and you have to drive everywhere. You can't walk. So that's definitely one I've noticed.
Yeah, not really much, but there's a lot more advertisements around the place and stuff. Yeah, that's
a lot of
what
billboards.
Yeah, a lot of billboards.
Yeah, Finn definitely touched on the walking thing. In Dublin, it's very easy to walk pretty much everywhere. Here, in Philly, it's not the best place to walk in the world. But I have a big question for you guys. So, of course, a few days in, I've already taken you to a couple of America's big fast food places, Chick-fil-A, Raising Cane's. How are you guys liking those? How does it compare to, your fast food over there in Ireland?
Well, back in Ireland, we don't have too many fast food spots, kind of only Burger King and McDonald's, so fried chicken is just kind of rare there, but it's really good. Raising Cane's, definitely a 10 out of 10 for me. The sauce was unreal.
Sweet.
Yeah, my favourite so far was definitely Raising Cane's.
Great. Another thing, so Finn, of course, I know you do hurling, which is kind of the Irish equivalent of lacrosse, and Mossy is a big rugby guy. So how do you feel about lacrosse, the American version, seeing the Firebirds out here taking on the Titans in what seems to be a pretty enjoyable game to watch, despite the deficit?
Well, it's certainly very similar to hurling, with the stick component and carrying the ball. There's obviously some key differences, but overall it's a really entertaining sport. Reminds me a lot of back home. Very physical as well, which is always good in the sport. Always like seeing some big hits.
Of course.
Yeah, I was quite impressed. Didn't think that lacrosse would be so physical and take talent. Yeah.
Caden, you got anything else?
Sure. Just kind of adding on to what Jack said. You guys are new, obviously watching a new sport here with lacrosse. Is there anything else you guys are looking forward to this week?
I'm definitely. Well, we went to New York today. That was a big point of the trip for us. That was a big day. But rest of the week, I'm looking forward to going to the is it the 76ers? That's
Yeah,
the basketball team.
Correct.
Yeah, we're going to a 76ers game. I'm really looking forward to that. I believe the team they're playing,
Los Angeles Clippers.
Los Angeles Clippers, yeah.
Featuring the traitor himself, James Harden.
There's someone else as well.
They got Kawhi Leonard.
That's the
They
one.
got Paul George.
I'm
They
very
got.
excited to see that legend play. Kawhi Leonard. He's a good lad.
Their average age is probably like 33. So get ready to see the youthful Sixers against the Clippers, who were probably playing before we were born. Mossy, how about you?
Yeah, I'm excited for the 76ers game, and I'm excited to go to class tomorrow with you guys, see what it's like.
Oh, very exciting. For us, it's going to be math and religion, I believe, which is going to be very interesting for you guys. One final question. How do you like Philly compared to the other cities you've seen around the world?
Well, haven't been into the centre too much, but Philly's definitely really nice so far. Obviously, every city's got its problems, but that's just like a worldwide thing. And Philly's like definitely makes up for it with like passion for everything, especially sports. They're really passionate about all their teams, and they have like good staples like the cheesesteaks, so that's always really cool to see in the city as well.
I haven't been to much cities, but yeah, I think Philly's a good place.
All right, great guys. Thank you for your time for this half-game interview. Let's go Firebirds. We'll see you when we enter the second half in just a few minutes. Firebirds down 6-2 at the half to the CB South Titans. go again.
24 minutes down, 24 more to come from the Dwight Athletic Complex at Holy Ghost Prep, where the Holy Ghost Prep Firebirds trail 6-2 to the CB South Titans in Varsity Lacrosse. We've seen the Titans get off to hot starts and hot closes so far in this first half. Keith Connor opened the scoring with 2 goals in the first frame of 12, followed by Auerbach with 1, Edgar with 1, and 2 more goals being scored by the Titans. For HGP, it has been Jacob Tuza and Jude Walsh. Getting underway once more with time ticking off the clock. So far, 20 seconds have elapsed as the Titans go in and out and cross midfield, but do not have much presence down there, and they'll be whistled off. The Firebirds will take over on offense. Time of possession will be key for this Firebird team in the second half. They struggled in that retrospect. They struggled in that area in retrospect in that first half, hoping to come back from that in the second and hopefully take advantage of such and get more goals on the board.
Great move there.
And Tommy Walsh puts the spinners on the Titan defense, but wound up losing the ball out of play, and so bringing it back in is Mark Etker, a one-time goal scorer tonight. Etker moves it down the field. Bringing it up is John Henson. Henson out of the corner has that one lost. What a save by Henson, but it unfortunately for him goes right to a Firebird defenseman. And up come the Firebirds once again with Mason Deanna, who bounces off a hit, finds a Chico. The Chico down low to Walsh, whips it wide, and Walsh mad at himself with that one as he had a look. It was a tight squeeze, but a look nonetheless, and that one went a little bit high. HGP will hold on to it with Brady Flynn. Flynn swings it around the back, the lone freshman on the Firebird varsity roster. Flynn to Razzler. What a move by Razzler. Into open space, one bouncer. That one goes wide. It'll go out of play. And Jude Walsh wins the race out of bounds. And so HGP will bring it back in. Walsh from the baseline back behind the net. Walsh cuts it back in. Looking for a way around. Unable to. And he'll reset with the Chico. Or pardon me, with Harkins over the head of the Chico. Harkins trying to make a move in now. He has Walsh to his left, and that one miscommunication as Walsh will see it go out of bounds and off of him last, and so the Titans take over. First pass comes in from Hayden Weston, his first touch of the game. And Weston went right to his goalkeeper in Warwick Hollow, who was only allowed 2 goals to sneak past tonight, as the bright orange moon rises in the background.
I just noticed that. I was about to bring it up. That's so cool looking.
So if I was looking to hoping the full moon will change them offensively in the second half for the better. Not sure where I was going with that, but I had to make a full moon joke considering we've acknowledged its presence now. Alexander Fessler going back and forth. Fessler shuffles it down on Mark Etker. Edgar back to Fessler, and now to Amorim, who has been on the field for most of the day tonight.
I'm just saying, the moon looks Firebird orange.
Is it an omen? Amorim to Connor. Connor, the return. Had an open look, decided not to go for it. The Titans playing more conservatively here on offense, but that one not conservative. It's turned right back over. Here's Bobby Williams, a long pole midi. Williams sprinting all the way down. Bobby Williams to Jude Walsh. Well, there's an opening. Walsh to the middle. That one knocked away. Harkins could have got a stick on it, but could not get it towards the net. And so it is scooped up easily by Warwick Hollow. And now pickpocket from behind. Brandon Graham-esque strip sack of Warwick Hollow in net. Now way back out of it, but now the Titans regain possession. Going all the way down, he cannot bring in the pass. That's Anthony DiPedro. And now DiPedro turns the ball over to Ryan Lippy for the Firebirds. Lippy sprinting all the way through. Lippy on net. And that one goes wide. Flynn will win the race by a mile, though.
Nice to see the Firebirds finally keeping the ball in their offensive zone, trying to get a goal to go.
Flynn drops it off for Harkins along that far bench. Harkins being beat up with the stick, and that will draw a flag. as you could have flagged one of 2 Titans there, but I do believe that they got James Vargas in the defenseman. And a few subs now as Vargason, one of the men to come off. Staying in net is Varacola, who was only allowed 2 goals today through nearly 28 minutes of work on the field. Both of those 2 coming in the first half, not these first 4 minutes of the second half. Brady Flynn shuffles it towards the net. Flynn to the top to Harkins. Harkins spins. What a move. Deanna now. Deanna got a shot which was saved. A flag was thrown. Mason Deanna weaving in between defensemen and getting the shot on net. But it appears to no avail if it went in, as the whistle may be against HGP. Although two new pairs of fresh legs coming on for the Titans.
Great to see the Firebirds keeping it in their possession a good bit, though. It's a nice turn from the first half.
Time possession definitely improving in this third frame of 12 with 7:54 to go in said frame. Jude Walsh starts the ball for the Firebirds. Walsh goes to Flynn. Flynn back to Walsh. Walsh to the top. Wind-up shot. Harkins, he scores! Mason Deanna from Scott Harkins. And Deanna, the one bouncer, finds the top post. And just like that, the Firebirds with an answer. It is a 6-3 ball game in favor of the Titans.
Was that Deanna? Looked like Walsh to me.
All right, well, Deanna or Walsh will figure it out for the break. 6-3 lead for the Titans as the Firebirds with an answer. Time of possession important on that drive, and so HGP able to cut the lead back down to 3, hoping to ride that momentum for back-to-back goals for the first time tonight. Face-off is won by HGP at midfield. It is picked up and taken down by Anthony DePedro. And DePedro will spin out of it. So DePedro went all the way down to the net, but Jack Arbach will take it back off for a reset. Arbach and Amorim going back and forth with passes. And now winds up in the stick of Mark Etker. Etker has run the offense in this second and third quarter so far. He has been the man to go to for a reset, running the top of the key, and right now trying to set a screen in front of Seamus Cranley. And now that pass will skittle away from a Titan attackman. And so the defense will pick it up and pick up the loose change. Titans still trying to force the issue here as Jack Arbach up to the top. Arbach to Fessler. Fessler across to Amorim. Amorim to Mark Etker once more. And out to Fessler. Around the horn go the Titans. Not much in terms of hustle, or not hustle, but hurry and hurry up for the Titans offense. They have played a slow-paced game thus far. It worked out for them in the first half especially. They have not found the back of the net in the second half. And HGP will eventually force a turnover, saved by Cranley. And so Bobby Williams takes it over. Williams, who set the last goal, takes it all the way down and back into the offensive zone. Halfway through this third quarter, the Firebirds have work to do, but have started to get it done as Williams lost that one. Picked up and flying in transition is Jonathan Henson, who's subbing back on. Henson gets the return, and Henson's pass, or intended pass, goes wide, and so HGP will retain. And it was Tommy Walsh who scored the last goal, now that I look at it more. Good job, Jack. So Walsh gets his first goal of the game. He had 2 assists on 2 Jude Walsh goals in the last one. And Tommy Walsh made it a 6-3 game. That one a few minutes ago. Looking to extend that, or at least continue to cut that lead down. Picking up the loose ball is Jacob Tuza, who has a goal of his own. Tuza, though, limping heavily going to the sideline. Walsh, a one-timer. Did that one score? It did not. What a great save by Warwick-Holla. Getting the back of his ankle on it just enough to stun it and keep it out in front. Flag is thrown. That one will go against the Firebirds. And Jake Auerbach to the middle, and Auerbach backs it up. Calls from the Firebirds sideline to hurry up the pace and try to force the Titans into a situation where they don't want to be in. Auerbach to the middle. Amorim. He's pressured behind. Amorim to Fessler and right back. Fessler. Amorim and to the corner. Here's a wind-up one-timer, and it goes way high and carried a lot of speed with it off the back of the net.
Now that we have a stoppage, I would just like to say, great play by the goaltender, Varacalo there. Crowhop kept it low, just smashed it into the ground, so CB South could retain the ball and continue this offensive drive, and they are packing shots onto Seamus Cranley's net and just continuously trying to score, and it seems like they're going to get it soon enough. Cranley's starting to wear and tear in this game, and the Firebirds have to keep their defense on a level for a long while left.
Keith Connor now out to Mark Etger. Etger back to Connor. And now back to Connor once more. So quickly around the horn go the Titans this time. A little bit more of a hurry up and high pace, as pressuring the sideline was Ryan Lippy, the defenseman. Back around goes Amorim. Amorim to Keith Connor. Connor was still looking for that elusive hat trick. He had 2 goals in the first 4 minutes. Has not gotten a shot on goal since. Here's Auerbach. Auerbach, the return. That one goes over his head. Auerbach trying to win the race with himself. Unable to. High on defense is Harkins, who delivers a strike with the stick. Harkins knocked the ball loose, but a shot winds up getting on net. Its save was made by Cranley, if not blocked beforehand. But no harm, no foul for the Firebird defense. It'll go out of play. But the Firebird defense with one more challenge that they'll have to face, at least for the moment. Pass to the far side, and that one just a bit outside off the shot, coming from Amorim.
Firebirds need to heat up. Just over 15 minutes left to play in this game. Down double their score. They need to work on getting this lead slowly going down so they can win it with a few minutes left. Right now, it's not looking great. They need to really start heating up.
Amorim being pressured. He's taking a beating, as the Firebird defense is forcing him to another spot he does not want to be in. That's up in that top left corner by his own bench. For now, resetting it is Keith Connor back behind the net. Connor back up to the top. And Connor around the outskirts of the box. Keith Connor makes a man miss, has a hole, and he scores. The hat trick for Keith Connor, and every goal better than the last. That one, a brilliant move put on the defense, and finds the hole in Seamus Cranley's goaltending. It's the 7th time the Titans have done such, and it's a 4-goal lead once again for Central Bucks South.
Firebirds just have no defensive momentum in this game. They are subject to whatever tricks CB South wants to pull, and it just has not looked great the entire game. The offense hasn't been horrendous, hasn't been great, but it's been working. The defense, on the other hand, has not been working at all.
Say that. Back in action coming off the face-off. The Firebirds now trail by 4 once again. It has been back and forth every time the Firebirds have an answer. There's been a counter-strike by the Titans, and it seems to be even more lethal every time it lands. Fessler lands on the ground for making that pass, or making that catch on the pass in the air. He shuffles it back out to Anthony DePedro, and DePedro goes down low again to Amorim. Amorim, DePedro for a reset. Mark Etger now who has a goal. Etger drops it off. Plenty of time to kill now for the Titans, who are in no hurry. Cranley will pounce on the shot. And he'll launch that one down. Here comes Tommy Walsh, who scored the most recent goal for the Firebirds. Walsh hoping to do so again. He finds Razzler. Razzler stripped of the ball. And Razzler unable to get back on top of it to turn it over for HGP. Forcing it back into his own net. Maybe not. Here's Brady Flynn applying the pressure. But to no avail, as Flynn's pressure winds up in a half length of the field heave. And Firebird ball. Great heads-up play by Ryan Lippy, as Lippy forced Jack Auerbach out to the near side. Auerbach again with a goal today. And HGP, what another move by Lippy. And probably Tommy Walsh. So Walsh brings it up after the good move by Lippy. Walsh finds the other Walsh. Tommy Walsh to Jude Walsh. Both goal scorers in tonight's game. Jude Walsh to Razzler. Razzler, who had a 3-goal game in a preseason scrimmage, has not found the back of the net yet in these first 2 home games of the year. So he's still looking for that elusive first point of this home broadcasting season for Razzler. But he's been effective on offense, getting opportunities and shots on goal. Here is Walsh to the middle, and solid hit, drawing a penalty, as the hit was laid on Jacob Tuza. Jude Walsh now lofts one to the far side. Walsh to Tommy Walsh. Tommy Walsh goes down low to the middle. Tuza trying to bring it in. He cannot. Ball still loose into open space. Picked up by the Titans, and they'll run it all the way back down. One bounce pass length of the field to Carrido. Carrido makes a move. Carrido fires a shot and a stick save by Seamus Cranley. His best one of the night, as Cranley makes it look easy, getting the majority of his wide netting along that far side of his own netting right behind him. 5.1 seconds to play in this third quarter. Trailing by 4 are the Firebirds, hoping to not sacrifice one more before going into the third and final break. And the officials have something to talk about, as it appears maybe reviewing that shot that was saved by Cranley. So Jack, we've been critical of the Firebirds for most of the game, but what positives have you seen in this one? Okay then, 7-3 lead for the CB South Titans. 5.1 seconds to play in the third quarter. Cranley will retreat back to his own net. It appears there will be no major change after the discussion. May have been reviewing to the ball across the back of the net, which Cranley was adamant it did not, and he will win that debate. That full moon starting to eke more away from the Firebird orange and red and more go to a dim yellow. Still just as impressive, but maybe the omen is wearing off for this Firebird team. Jude Walsh lets the ball roll, and that will be it to end this third quarter of play. 36 down, 12 more to come from the Dwayne Athletic Complex. We hope you stay with us, and we hope the Firebirds can get back into this one. It's a 7-3 lead for the CB South Titans. 12 more minutes to come from the Duane Athletic Complex. The Firebirds trail by 4, 7-3 to the CB South Titans. 13 seconds have elapsed in this final frame. And the Firebirds hoping to have some miracle in this fourth quarter and more than double their score to at least force a tie. Extra lacrosse would be a blessing. The Firebirds and the Titans have played a decent game overall. It's just not gone the Firebirds' way with the shots. They've both seen a lot of opportunities, but the better bounces have gone the way of the Titans. Speaking of the Titans' offense, they are back on such. And so Alexander Fessler going around the horn, and it winds up in the stick of his teammate Anthony DePedro. DePedro back to Fessler, and down low to Keith Connor. Connor back to Fessler, and the return to Fessler back behind the net. Fessler to the middle, to Connor, who lost that one. Connor has that one stripped away. And the loose ball is patrolled by Santino Tiberio, who we saw go down with a lower body injury earlier. He's back on and appears to be walking around at full strength. So glad to see Tiberio come back on. Josh Razzler was shaken up late in the last drive. So hopefully he is back on if he's not on already. Bobby Williams now with the steal for HGP. The Firebird offense hoping to do something with it. Williams never had full possession of it, but forced it loose on that far side. Flag flies from the far side again, or from the near side, pardon me. And this might be a second penalty, as being tripped up was Tommy Walsh, a goal scorer today. And Walsh hop up with the hobble, but it appears he'll stay on.
I will say that was a great stand by the defense there, holding the Titans honest and finally knocking the ball loose and taking over. While we haven't seen that play come to full fruition, it was a good defensive stand, and it's great to see the guys put their bodies on the line and get the ball out back into their possession.
Yeah, it was a good, positive, promising possession there for HGP, hoping to reflect that on the offensive side.
It's a lot of peas.
Yeah, a lot of peas. Peas are a good vegetable, though.
Overrated. Carrots are better.
Well, Razzler's back on for the moment. Hopes up the Firebird offense can get better with him back on the field. Razzler and Williams trying to fight for the ball. Williams with some words after the play. Not much in terms of action, though, as Williams was mouthing towards James Vargason. Vargason has had a lot of extracurricular activity today. Maybe we can add that to the college resume. And Tommy Walsh brings that one down in front of the net. Walsh filters to Razzler. Razzler a little bit high of the pass, but Brady Flynn brings it in anyway. Flynn behind the net. Flynn to the middle shot. That one goes wide, but Flynn was right there for the inbound. Flynn restarts the charge, not discouraged from the last miss. Razzler being pressured back out. Razzler and Flynn not on the same page quite there, but Jude Walsh picks it up. Walsh to Tommy Walsh. Both Walsh brothers with goals today. Jude 3 in his last 2 games. Spinning out of it is Razzler, who wants his first in that span. It'll go out of play. It'll stay with the Firebirds. 9:23 to play in this fourth quarter. It'll stay 7-3 Titans for the moment. And coming in from the far side is a new pair of legs for the Firebirds and Scott Harkins. Harkins and Walsh at the top of the key. Now it's Jude Walsh. Down low, Harkins. And back to Tommy Walsh. Tommy Walsh back behind the net. Walsh a spin. Walsh through the traffic. Walsh on net. That one saved. And that's been how this game has gone for the most part, as the Firebirds have seen the looks, have had the open net, and just not been able to get it in. Is that another great save by Warwick Hollow in net for the Titans? .8:52 now on the clock in this fourth quarter. Titans will inbound, or not inbound, but they will have possession of the ball. Starting with the center of the newly painted midfield logo on this Rim Athletic Complex. Getting his second broadcast ever and second game played on it in terms of regular season lacrosse for this Firebird varsity team. We've seen Ultimate and Soccer played on it so far this academic year. And potentially some spring Ultimate to come, as this past Ultimate game has come in the fall. For now, the Lax team has control of it, but the Firebirds hoping to get control of the ball on the field for the moment, as right now it is the Titans going back and forth and having their way strategy-wise is Anthony DePedro. DePedro goes down low to Connor. That one goes out of play, and the Firebirds with another good defensive stand. That's back-to-back for them in this fourth quarter, hoping to add some momentum and make a very late push, but one that could always bring about an answer.
Absolutely great to see. Firebirds playing great defense in this fourth quarter. Hopefully they can keep it up as Cranley once again tries to get the midfield.
Cranley has Dylan McManus, the long pole defenseman, behind him, or long pole midi, pardon me. He tried to float it up to Walsh. Walsh took a hit. And shows sportsmanship by James Vargas to make sure Razzler's okay, but he's all right. He stays up and stays in the game. Pass goes down low. It went in and out of the stick of the intended target in Almorim. Or pardon me, that was Fessler. So Fessler drops it. The Firebirds pick it up. And again, it's a long pole midi in Dylan McManus, bringing it down the senior defenseman. McManus now drives that one down, lost control of the ball. Picking it up is Vargason. Vargason has done almost everything besides score, get an assist. He has laid hits, drawn penalties, been called for penalties, and has made good defensive plays, setting up possible goals, but just not getting too much credit on the stat sheet for it. So good job by Vargason today, being a very physical presence for this Titan team and leading them to this 4-goal lead as of right now. Mark Etker swinging it around. Etker fires it low to Keith Connor, the attackman, who has 3 goals tonight. Connor to the middle. That one deflected down. Tiberio fighting for the loose ball. And still loose it was, in and out of the stick of McManus. But Seamus Cranley picks up a loose change. And he fires it into the slot, which is Ryan Lippy. And Lippy tried to continue the shuffle motion to Razzler, and Razzler was whistled off immediately upon touching it. 6:43 to play in regulation. The Firebirds running low on time. But hopefully this defense can stay strong in these final 6:40. Maybe make the scoreboard look a little bit more appealing. And now that one deflected away. This will be 4 straight stops for HGP if they can clear it away. They were unable to initially, but Tiberio was held up, and so that will bring about another flag. .6:21 to play in the fourth. 7-3 lead for the Titans. HGP will have to be a lot more aggressive in these final few minutes if they are to make that late push, which almost everyone in the stands, is on the Firebirds side, hopes for. Nothing is ever impossible when you're on the campus of Holy Ghost, Brett. And that shot is fired wide by Jacob Tuza. But the Firebirds will retain possession with Jude Walsh going to the corner to pick it up.
Jude Walsh been a large bright spot on this Firebird team so far this year. 3 goals in the 2 games we've called. Just a great guy on this offensive team for the Firebirds.
He wanted a 4th one there. That one went wide, and Josh Razzler picks up the loose ball in the corner. And yeah, good credit to Jude Walsh. He has made plays on offense. He has found opportunities. Maybe he hasn't converted on all of them, but you can't ask for any more than what Walsh has done these last 2 games.
Also a great guy. I mean, just a great presence for this Firebird team as an athlete, as a person, and as a leader.
Yeah, very green team, as I'm sure you'd like to say. So as Mateo Chico and Josh Razzler and Mr. Krause's Spanish class. Everyone green team at Holy Ghost. especially on this lacrosse team, showing a lot of brotherhood, even with a rough loss in the past few days, and now with a rough deficit to come back from, staying strong and clearly not being visibly angry at each other, which has been a problem that we've seen across many major sports and other high school teams. But not here at HGP. Hopefully that brotherhood can pay off into some goals here late. Down by 4, 7-3 with 5:15 to play. Right now it's the Titans with the ball. Landon Amorim, the attackman. Amorim shuffles it out and back down low to Keith Connor. Connor around the side of the net to the middle. Connor spins, goes down low. A one bounce pass finds a stick of Fessler. Fessler to the top. One time shot incoming and just wide to the left. And Cranley just a few inches short of winning that race out of bounds. The shot was taken by Anthony DePedro, still looking for his first goal of the game. He has had the looks, but has mostly just been an assister today with 2 of those. A stick may have been broken there on the shot. It definitely went down weird, as Cranley will watch that shot go over his head. And so bringing it in now is Fessler once more. 4:28 now to play. Fessler to Connor, who has the hat trick. Connor back to Fessler down low. Back around that X spot. Fessler swinging into open space. In the middle, that one goes wide to the left. And Cranley getting some cardio in behind the net. So far, that cardio to no promising avail. Diving attempt and a goal. A great step by Connor. And Connor finds his teammate Alexander Fessler, who has touched the ball a lot and has filtered the play for this Titans team. An exclamation point here late for the Titans. 4 minutes to go in the game. It's now an 8-3 lead for CB South.
CB South with a great offensive performance today. Just getting the ball all around to everybody. You cannot short Connor with the hat trick, but just a great offensive performance, putting everything they need together to cook up those 8 goals like Gordon Ramsay. Just a great game for them.
5 different goal scorers for this Titans team, being Connor, Fessler, Auerbach, Etker, and Kolachi. So all those players scoring goals for the Titans side. For the Firebirds, it has been the 2 Walshes and Tommy and Jude to go along with Jacob Tuza's goal that started the scoring for HGP. Since that Tuza goal, though, there has not been many offensive positives for HGP, but regardless, a game to take away from for either side of this Firebird team.
And speaking of a takeaway, CB South just got one of those.
Yeah, it was stolen away by Blake Bernstein, who has not been on yet today, getting his first touch and making the most of it. Will be a late personnel change timeout for this Firebird team. 8-3 lead with 210 seconds to play. Under 3.5 now to play in the fourth quarter. And time starting to run out on this Firebird Monday night against CB South as Keith Connor goes back behind the net. And Connor's pass shuffled out to the side. Mark Etger with a goal today. Etger goes down low to Fessler. And Fessler back around to Connor. Connor to the middle. Anthony DePedro. DePedro now. Fessler once more. Fessler to the top. Amorim. Amorim, one bouncer and scores. Amorim it's Amorim to Jack Auerbach. And Auerbach gets his second goal of the game. He becomes the second multi-goal scorer for the Titans today. That one beats Cranley to the short left side, 9-3 with 2:45 to play.
As I was saying, incredible offensive game from CB South here. Just tacking on the goals, spreading the wealth, and just putting on a great show. This CB South team has a lot to look forward to as we're seeing in this game.
The Firebirds have struggled on face-off so far today. Hoping to improve that at midfield this time around. Battling forward as one of the three face-off men, but this one's Smolinski for HGP. Smolinski will win it. And now Smolinski fighting for it with Flynn. But instead, it'll be CB South taking over on offense. Sending it around is Keith Connor. And it looks like the Titans just try to slowly drain out the remaining clock in this one. And not try to run up the score anymore, as it already is 9-3 in favor of their side. Connor to the top and Anthony DePedro. 2 minutes even to play in the fourth. DePedro still holding on to it. Now he goes down low to Connor and back around to Fessler. Fessler still goes to Connor. And now to Etger. Around the horn go the Titans. They've done that a lot in the second half. They've had a lot of time to kill. They have done it well. The first half was dominated by time of possession for this Titan team. And that's what put them up on top early by as many as 3-0. Followed up by an answer by HGP. And then it was just 1-1 all the way to 7-3. Since then, there have been 2 goals scored in a row for this Titan team, which is another tongue twister, which I make myself say. But the Titans now have scored 2 in a row. It appears they will not try to go for 3. Under a minute to play now and still ticking. Neither side being too aggressive here on defense for the Firebirds, offense for the Titans. Bringing it in with Fessler, who backs it out to Connor. Connor got 2 goals to start the game, both in a row and both in the first 4 minutes. He got a hat trick here early in this fourth quarter, being the 8th goal of the game for the CB South Titans. And as I said before, his 3rd goal of the game. So good job on him. That one found iron. Underneath shot was taken by Anthony DePedro, who probably deserves a goal today based on what he's done, but unable to find one there in garbage time.
DePedro been the definition of a team player this game. Just doing everything he needs to help CB South win this game in such a impressive fashion.
DePedro has 2 assists on the day. The Firebird goes down behind the play, but no stoppage, just time coming to a close. Mad himself there was Tommy Walsh, who was trying to get a pass. 3 seconds, 2 on the clock, and that will be it from the DAC. Some shoving behind the play, but that will be it. The CB South Titans come into the New England Athletic Complex and defeat the Holy Ghost Prep Firebirds 9-3 in a game of Monday Night Lacrosse, in which the Firebirds now fall in back-to-back games 6-2 and 9-3. So a lot to work on for the Firebirds, but they were able to get off to a somewhat hot start to that second quarter. So, Jack, what do you think they should focus on for next game?
Looking at it from a bird's eye view, there are actually quite a few positives for that Firebird team, most of which showed up at the beginning of this fourth quarter. A few good defensive stands where they were able to hold their own and try to make the Titans adjust to their game. Overall, the Titans did have a dominating fashion win, but the Firebirds did have a bit of defense in there to really try to sprinkle in. I think they're really going to try to limit the amount of times they let them get behind the goal next game, as that was always the immediate outlet for CB South to keep a run going. If they get shut down behind the goal, that puts off a whole option for the opposing team and makes them play a much more reactive offense as opposed to a this is what we're going to do offense.
But behind the net spot that you've been referring to is called the X, just for future reference. But yeah,
good to
that
know.
has been a very open spot and has been an X factor for either side. But so far, the Firebirds are losing in that retrospect as CB South dominates there and dominates on most of the offensive side of the ball. 9-3, they come into Holy Ghost and defeat the Firebirds. Wednesday night, the Firebirds look to get back on track. And that will be streamed once again on the Holy Ghost Prep YouTube channel starting at 7 o'clock on Wednesday night. Be sure to stay tuned, or tune in for that one. If you stay tuned for 2 days, you have to be the biggest Holy Ghost Prep fan in the world. But yes, be sure to tune into that one. We'll see you then. For Jack Dobbins, I'm Caden Stewart. Thank you all for watching on this Monday night. We'll see you next time on the Holy Ghost Prep YouTube channel.
Holy Ghost Prep ties it up.
Holy Ghost is on the move.
Yeah, Firebirds had a lot of momentum.
Right from the jump for the Firebirds, who look really good.